Hey, Margaret,
Hey there, Bob. How are
how
you
are
doing?
you?
Good. How was your
Hey,
week?
I talked to you a little bit earlier, didn't
Yeah, we had some
I?
we had some
Hey,
good conversation.
I want to give a shout out again. I'm going to start every show with this. I want to thank our production guy, Christopher. Show yourself, Christopher, please. What's up, brother?
Hey.
Hey
Yeah,
man, how's it going?
it's going good. You're still a wild man. That's why we
Yeah,
love you. I like that backdrop behind you, that dog playing guitar.
took me all day to paint that.
All right, we're gonna get down to serious business. Tonight's show, like y'all have probably seen, is going to be about reactive dogs. That's uh, that's a big problem
Yes,
with,
sir.
I would say, 70% of my people out there. Either their dog is they're trying to take it for a walk, and I don't care if it's a little pint-sized dog that weighs no more than a loaf of bread, to Great Danes, to Rottweilers. It doesn't have to be a specific breed. All breeds do it. And we're going to touch base and teach y'all how to stop it, how to prevent it. Like I said earlier, and Margaret will agree on this, every dog is different.
Oh yeah.
It, I don't know exactly what's happening with your dog until I see it or Margaret sees it, and then we would be able to address it 100%. There's a lot of different ways, or I should say reasons, not ways, reasons to address this situation, but there's different reasons for a dog to do that. It could be fear, it could be excitement, it could be, oh my God, there's a dog over there, or mom and dad, you ain't got this, I got it, I'm going to eat that dog or I'm going to eat that person. And I'm going to let Margaret chime in a little bit. Hi, Margaret. It's all you, baby.
Hey. Yeah, we also have that famous reaction to squirrel, you know.
Yeah,
Um, so when you're walking your dog and there's so much in that environment, and that's why one reason I start working with dogs inside, so they don't have much to react to. They can concentrate on learning the commands and focusing on me or you as an
exactly.
owner. And then,
Oh, wait, Margaret. Watch me. Watch me.
yes,
Watch me.
watch
That don't
me.
work.
No, no, no. No, the commands are what we teach the dogs to watch us to get a command. If they miss a command or whatever, they may get a correction, and whatever works best for that dog is the correction. So, when you sometimes your dog will see something before you do, and you can see it in their behavior. One thing I watch for is when I'm walking the dog is watch the dog's ears, watch their nose. Which way the nose is pointed is which way they're paying attention. So if you're walking straight and your dog's nose goes that way, guess where they're paying attention?
Exactly. Or else you get the you ain't gonna miss this. That dog puts his head down and gets real intent. You know
Hmm.
he's gonna launch. And what do the people do? They tighten up on that leash and they make their dog react.
Oh yes,
A
they
lot
can
of people
feel
don't
you.
believe that, but you know it's the truth as well as I do. You've
Oh
been doing
yeah.
this for 25 years, girl. You know it.
Hmm.
You
They
know.
feel your energy down the leash, and it's not just a figure of speech. It's the actual truth. And what
You know,
goes through your dog's mind is they're tensing up. What are they tensing up for? Are they scared of what is coming? Ooh, I must protect mom and dad. So then
right.
they go into that reactive behavior of barking and acting like a fool and that kind of thing. So one thing you accomplish by doing obedience with your dog, because some people are like, what's the point of keep walking in a heel, keep having our dog sit, keep having our dog down? What's the point? This is boring. Well, no, there is a point. It's to keep them knowing you are in charge and they don't have to protect you unless
Exactly.
you go to Unless you go to Uncle Bob there and he teaches you personal protection.
You know, you come here to the wizard, and I'm gonna straighten you out. No, I do. I get in my clients' butts. You know, because I'm a very straightforward person, and you know it as well as I do, Margaret. I do not paint pretty pictures for anybody. If I say correct your dog, correct your dog. But there's a time to correct your dog. All right. Now, let's say, and I did this to a client, I want to say a few months back. I had a real aggressive little brown dog. It was a little mixed breed. This sucker looked like a brown alligator coming at me. And he would not, he was just teeth and eyes coming at me. And she had him on a leash. And I said, put that dog outside. I want to talk to you. So then she took the dog outside. Now, this is one method that may work for your dog in the house. I'm not saying it's going to work 100%, but it's a start. I told her, when you bring your dog back in, you know it's going to bark and raise Cain at me. I said, I want you to sit there in that chair and pay that dog no mind. I don't want any emotion coming from you whatsoever. And I said, believe it or not, that dog's going to start looking at you like, hey, mom, you know, there's somebody in the house. Mom, I got to get, why aren't you reacting, mom? Well, once the dog did that and it started looking back, I said, okay, now put your dog back outside. So she put it back outside and I talked to her a little bit more. I said, when that dog looks back at you, the next step he's going to do, he's going to start coming back to you a little bit because you're not showing any emotion. I'm not saying this is going to happen every time. On this particular dog, it did. And I told her, when the dog goes back toward you, create a little bit of slack in that lead. Now, the reason you have to create a little bit of slack is you can't give a correction without a little bit of slack in the lead. If the leash is tight, all you're going to do is pull that dog and you're not going to get anywhere. I told her to create a little bit of slack. And I said, at the top of your lungs, you yell no. And at the same time you say no, you jerk as fast as you can. I hate the word hard. I hate it in dog training. I just despise it. It's how fast you correct. If you give a fast correction, you're going to give a good correction. If you start trying to put strength into it, all you're going to do is pull, and the dog is used to that. So I told her to do that. So she brought the dog back in, and it barked, 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 and went crazy. Looked like a little brown alligator yet coming at me. The dog started looking back and looking back and looking back. Finally, just like I said, he started going back to the owner. She created that little bit of slack. And as soon as I said now, she gave that dog a correction. As soon as the dog started with one bark, she yelled no, snapped that leash. And believe it or not, folks, the dog sat down, then it laid down, and I was able to walk right up to the dog and start stomping my feet. It wasn't a fix. But the dog looked at her like, excuse my French, people, what the hell was that? Where did that correction come from? Well, I never felt that before from you. And again, it's the timing of that correction. It's the speed of that correction and giving the correction when it is needed. If the dog is already out at the end of the leash and he's barking and barking and barking and barking and barking, you missed it. You missed your chance. And back what Margaret was saying, it's learning how to read your dog. And I keep telling clients this, whether it be reactive toward people, a squirrel, whatever it may be. You have to let that dog know that you're in charge. You can give the sharp no. You can give the correction, but then always give an obedience command. Like Margaret was saying, obedience is the foundation. What you're seeing with all these trainers, I have one trainer that I watch on YouTube, and I'm not going to give any names because I didn't get permission, right? But he trains exactly the way I am. And he's got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of followers. And he trains just like me. There's a couple things that are a little different, but other 100%. So I'm going to hand this back to Margaret, and I want her to discuss why obedience is so important to set that foundation. Now, like I said, I don't want y'all going out and trying what I said and you expect it to work. Like I said, it's one of the things that worked for me. Your dog may be totally different, but I had to give that suggestion out to you, and I will give you some others during the show. Margaret, it's all you, baby girl.
All right. So one reason we do obedience, and one reason that we want to create a line of communication with our dogs. What do dogs have to communicate with each other with? Do they have words? No. Okay, so we're going to mimic that, and that's what we're doing. They use body language and they use the tone of their bark. Okay, so when you're walking your dog and you're hesitant and you're kind of like this. I'm sure, Bob, you've had clients like this where you've really had to work with them with walks. I tell people walk strong, and sometimes I talk to them while they're healing so that they're not thinking so much on what they're doing. But you need to mimic what other dogs do in order to be assertive and take control and be the alpha. Okay?
You're exactly right.
Mm-hmm. And so when we're doing the heel, that's a follow the leader. I'm the leader, follow me. I'm going left, I'm going right, I'm going straight, I'm turning around. I change directions a lot. I may not travel very far when I'm first teaching a dog to heel. The sit is a sit. The down is more of a submissive position. If you have a dog that's dominant, that's going to be one of the hardest positions to teach your dog and willing to go into is the down. And you will work on that the most. I don't know. I've had some big dogs where I've had in Texas where I had to call Bob in to help me out.
Yes, you have.
And I had to get my voice deep, like you guys, because I have to present that aura that I'm in charge. So my voice had to get deep and all that. And one thing I tell people, and I have to say this, don't talk sentences to your dog. Okay, please. Please.
They want to talk it like they're talking a little Auntie Gloria over here. Now, come on, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
No.
Here comes the UPS guy knocking on the door, and you're holding your little dog. I've told you not to bark at people. Please don't do that. You're embarrassing. And the dog is just going at it, And first of all, don't hold your dog. Your little dog, don't. Put him on a leash, put him on the ground.
Exactly.
He needs to stand his own ground, not get sir, from you, the energy from you. So just put him on the ground, let him stand there on the leash, and you have control with the leash, But sentences, no. Can't do it. Won't do it.
All right.
So.
Like Margaret was saying about the voice and don't talk to your dog. I agree 100%. I've had people try to talk, sit, sit, sit. And now subconsciously,
Three times.
the owner's getting, excuse my French, they're getting pissed because their dog ain't sitting. And then finally they give the magic, no, sit.
Yeah.
And the dog's like, damn, okay.
Okay.
So my question is, if you know he's not going to react to sit and sit and sit, why are you doing it? That dog hears you and your family talking every single day. No, honey, we don't have any bologna. No, honey, we're not going shopping. They're used to it, but they're not used to that sharp, crisp No, I'm telling you, folks, it's magic. And who else is magic, Margaret?
Mickey Mouse.
All right. Hey, Christopher, if you can, I don't know if you have it. The easiest thing to do with a dog to start gaining that control, and I'm going to get back into reactivity because that's what this show is about. But do you have the clip of Margaret teaching a dog to stay at the front door?
Let's see, Margaret, where'd you send it to me at? Oh, I see it. Okay, let me grab it. If you want to go to another clip first, and then I'll go and
Yeah,
grab that one.
a matter of fact, I'm gonna call. You know, a lot of people say, "Well, I just don't. I don't have any control of my dog. I can't do it. The dog is pulling. He's too young to learn off leash obedience or loose leash obedience, and I got to give him a cookie." Well, you know what? Go to a cookie trainer then. Go to a cookie trainer. I'm going to show you a little clip. This dog I trained. This is a young doodle dog. I forgot if it's a labradoodle, golden doodle, whatever it is, but it's a young dog. And the lady's granddaughter came over. This girl's barely 6 years old, and she threw that leash over her shoulder for the first time. I'm not lying to you, but this is the video that this client of mine sent me. Christopher, if you can roll that video.
That's awesome. Good boy.
I mean, this is a little puppy, guys. You can see it's a little puppy, and this is a little girl walking the dog at the first time. That dog learned to respect that leash. A lot of people feel that leash is control. This is, I go to war with this leash. No. Mm-mm. That leash is just a tool. And if you use the tool correctly, like if you're a carpenter, you know how to use your tools. There's a right way and a wrong way. It's the
I got
same
Margaret's
thing.
clip of her hitting the dog, by the way.
Oh, do you? Margaret, did you beat that dog?
I did. That's my
Can you
dog.
roll
No,
it, Christopher, for us, please?
some good
This is the
correction with it.
foundation. This is the foundation of training. A simple sit, stay, and stay at the door.
How many of us have tried to answer our door and our dog is just wanting to either bolt out the door or jump all over everybody? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to teach your dog what behaviors you want at the door. Let him know, let her know what is acceptable and what is not. Okay, so what you can do is you can put like a handle leash, which is this long, hang it right next to your door. Put it on a table right next to your door with his training collar there, because you don't want the training collar to be on 24/7, right? So that way you can put it on real quickly, and if the UPS man is knocking at the door wanting a signature, we can go to open the door, and we can tell him stay. He's in the down command, so I can tell him to stay. Of course, he put himself there, so I'm telling him stay anyway. Stay. Yep. And then correct downwards. No, down. Stay. Start with a quarter open. Close. Good boy. Stay. Don't try to keep talking to him. Just tell him stay. Stay. No. Down. Stay. Good, stay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have him in a command. I'm going to teach him to think on his own. I'm not going to go through the door. The threshold there is the line. Otherwise, you could put like a piece of painter's tape down, and that will make a boundary. So you want to teach him not to step over that. So I'm just going to tell him wait. Okay, I've not taught him any of this just so I could do this on video. Wait. Nope. Wait. He stepped over, got a correction back where I wanted him. Wait. Nope. Wait. Then when you're ready, you're going to tell him, okay, when you want him to come out. You always go through first because you're the alpha. Wait. Nope. Wait. Okay. Come on in. Good boy. So you notice I didn't give him a ton of praise after he came through the door because I didn't want him to look forward and then be ready to go through the door. So I come back inside. Good boy, that was a good job. Praise it when he's inside here, okay?
That was good, Margaret.
Thank
Now,
you.
I seen some corrections. I noticed the correction, and I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying. The way Margaret corrected that dog, if you noticed, she did not give the correction to the ground. Why? Think about it, people. A dog can move up, down, front, back. They're just as fast and they're just as strong as we are in all those corrections. What she did when she grabbed that, or she gave that correction, I should say, you notice she corrected the dog into her knees. It was parallel to the dog's body. No, down, and the dog responded. I've seen trainers try pulling a dog down and just hold it there until he gives in. That's a force trained method. I don't believe in it. Margaret don't believe in it. A couple things I want to add to what you just seen on that video. I've got a little 10-month-old miniature German Shepherd named Nala. If you keep up what Margaret was trying to do with that dog, it'll be just like my Nala. I say, come on, let's go outside. Now I got a little six-inch step going to my front door. I say, come on, let's go outside. She goes to that step and she automatically sits. I don't have to tell her. I can open that door up, both doors, and she doesn't move until I say, okay. Anybody can do this, but you have to claim your door. If you go to the door at the same time your dog does, it's as much his door as it is your door, and you're going to have problems. I always set my dogs 2 to 3 foot back, make them sit and stay. That's how I started Nala. That's how she's doing this dog, and she's working there. Why is this so important? Not the trainer that I follow, and I'm not giving any names, he just tells the dog, stay. And then he opens the door and he lets the dog go. And the dog's running around outside. No, not in my book. It ain't going to happen with me because I'm going to make that dog sit. I'm going to make him stay. And as soon as he goes outside that door, I'm going to make him sit and stay again. Then if you have steps or you have one step going down off your lane by your front door, you have him sit there. Now, what are we doing? We're gaining control. The more control you put on your dog, the better. Then I heel my dog down the driveway. Then I heel my dog into the sidewalk. And I've seen so many trainers out there, whether they're rookies, whether they've been in the business for a while, they let their dog outside and he does whatever he wants. And he's pulling on a leash and he's smelling the grass. And then it's like, well, he's got his energy out. Now I'm going to start working them. Are you crazy? You people are nuts. If your dog, and Margaret will attest to this, and I see Brian from Texas on here. He's a dang good dog trainer.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you can't get your dog to stay at the door and walk calmly next to you down the driveway and onto the street, and you have control of them, forget everything I told you about reactive dog. It ain't gonna work.
Right.
It's not gonna work. I'm telling you straight up, I do not lie to people. And you people that go to YouTube on these other channels or Facebook, or you heard it from a friend, and the only way we can do this to stop a dog from pulling or being reactive is put, oh wait, the Herm Springer 2.25 or whatever. Give me a break. I'll do it with a nylon collar you hang dog tags on. It's the timing. It's you being firm. But then it's like, no, sit. Now you went right to being firm, back to being a calm state. And it's like, oh, hell, Dad's got this. But when you start acting frantic and you're pulling and you're pulling, and I got to go in the opposite direction and I'm too close and I can't give him a cookie because he's not paying attention to me, please go to the cookie station.
Right.
It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, are you guys telling me that I've been doing it wrong? Because
Yeah,
this is the
Christopher,
speech
you're
right
all
here
wrong.
that whenever I tell them to stop, I just start reading this off because I want
Yeah.
to explain to them what it is that they're doing is wrong, so they make an analytical decision based on the whole thing.
Christopher,
I shouldn't be doing that.
it's all about, and I really believe this. If you train a dog like you do your child, things are going to be so much easier for you. But no, people I don't want to hurt my dog's feelings. I don't want to yell at him. Do me a favor, folks. Anybody that's tuned in, go to those channels. You'll find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Because when that dog was a puppy, remember what its mama did to it? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about hurting your dog's feelings, because this is the truth. If you look at things realistic, and man, I'm on a roll now. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy. Do you realize what you're creating if you let your dog continue this? Or I can't control him in the house because he's barking, he's whining, he's showing teeth at people. And I'd say, ma'am, what are you doing? In an evaluation, or when I'm talking, well, we're putting him in the backyard. Oh, I'm putting him in another room.
Mm-hmm.
Or I let him smell the person, but then when they move, he starts barking again and showing teeth. Or he's trying to eat the neighbor's dog across the street. So here is your option. It's either get in your dog's butt through basic obedience, get the line of communication going. What pleases you, what displeases you. Like Margaret said, and I agree with this woman 100%. If you don't have control and obedience, do not try to solve an aggression problem or a reactivity problem.
Bob
Okay?
agreed with
No, people, it's either you fix this problem. I mean, your dog can be looking at that other dog. I don't mind a dog looking at another dog when I'm walking by. But as long as he's heeling next to you and he's not reacting to that other dog. I'm not saying you're going to do this 2 times and you're going to be able to bring him to the daycare and being around 15 other dogs. But you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Here's the deal. It's either you nip it in the bud, you start learning how to read your dog correctly. You may see a wrinkle in his head. His ears may come up. His tail may carry a little higher. He may lower his head and get real intent on another dog. He starts getting real stiff-legged. You start seeing that, you nip it in the bud right now. Because you know what's going to happen, people? And this honest God truth. I'm training a 60-year-old woman's dog. Okay. And this is the truth. She had her dog on one of them cheap little harnesses tied up in the backyard. I'm not giving the name of the harness or where she bought it. They had the little plastic clips on it. And her dog busted free, broke the harness, and tore up a little Maltese. This was a boxer cross. Believe it or not, folks, here in Ohio, the city that she's living in, she's facing jail time, massive fines, and being sued big time.
Wow.
Now, you don't want that to happen to you.
No.
It's either you be firm on your dog or we can't help you. And it's not even being firm. It's just telling him that I got this. Give that firm no. Lighten up. Sit like you mean business. But if you act all frantic, your dog does not know that you got this. Anything to add, Margaret?
Yes. Your puppy was not
Hey,
born
Margaret,
with a...
Margaret, before you get
Yes,
going, stand up. I want to see your shirt.
Oh,
I want to see your
I want to
shirt.
thank my friend Christy for making this shirt for me.
There you go. There you go.
I try my best, but thanks, Bob. But thank you, Christy, for this shirt. I really appreciate it. But anyway, here we go. Your puppy was not born with a list of your expectations, automatically knowing what you want and don't want. They're not born with a dictionary. They're not going to know every word that you're saying. Okay. One big thing I was taught in the training school at National Canine is, and this has to do with a lot of things in life, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
I like that, Margaret.
So, yes. And starting from the beginning, we will have another show where we're going to go over socializing your puppy and do's and don'ts with puppies. But I know we're talking about, reactive dogs and all of that, and things, they grow into problems. They're not like kids. A lot of times kids will grow out of problems. Puppies and dogs, it'll snowball and it'll get worse because they're into that habit. They get confidence in that habit. Like the UPS man coming to the door and they bark at the window. They might have started just with looking at him. What does the UPS man do? He always walks away. They get this false sense of scaring the UPS man away. And every time he comes, they get a little bit stronger. They get a little bit more. Then they start barking. Then they start barking louder. Then they start really barking and then showing teeth and all that. And soon it turns into them being like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, at the freaking window and tearing up your drywall and your trim and all of that, all because we wouldn't correct them when they first started barking the first time. Okay. So if you see a problem starting to develop, you got to take care of it. You got to start right then. Like Bob said, nip it in the bud. Okay. And get going with a training program. Okay.
Margaret,
Yes, sir.
Cindy has a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. She says, is there any way to descale a dog's demeanor if you don't catch
Well,
the
that leads
problem
me,
in time?
yes, if we want to, that leads me back to what Brian said also. And he said to set up your dog to fail is teaching him. And I say that too, Brian. I think we probably said that together training and back in Texas, is that you want to set your dog up for the problem. If you know they're doing something, Bob said this too, you want to set them up. Setups are important. So if your dog is chewing your remote, I saw a picture of your remote, Cindy, on Facebook. And remotes smell like us, right? We touch it a lot, just like our phones. We touch our phones a lot. So Dogs want to own the things that are yours in order to feel above you. Okay. So they're chewing the remote when we're not in the room. How do we correct that? We didn't catch them. What do we do? Okay. We're going to set them up. We're going to take their chew bones, put them in the middle of the living room, put the remote right there. I think Bob described this one time in the last show, and then sit back and watch TV. If they go for the wrong thing, you immediately stand up. No! They startle like a big book that hit the ground, right? Everybody goes, and then you calmly go over, take away the wrong thing, which is the remote. You start playing with them with the chew bone. When they start chewing on that bone, good girl, great job. That's what I want you to chew on. Good job. When you cannot watch your dog, take away the remote, take it with you, put it in your pocket. That way they can't grab it. Okay. So if your dog is doing something, you want to de-escalate the problem, set them up for the behavior. You can also, nowadays, we have the cameras we can put in the house. We can go outside. We can see if they're doing it on our phone. Rush in. They think you can rush in at any time.
That's
So-
what Amy does with me.
Say that again.
Amy has to do the same thing with me.
Oh, really? You're that stubborn, huh?
Yeah.
You keep eating her chocolate cake?
Yes. Yes. She started giving me antifreeze because of it.
Oh boy. We're
Hey,
gonna stay away from the antifreeze. Stay away from that.
I want to say something here, and I try everything before I use this method, but I'm working with a very, 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 uh, very reactive pit bull toward other dogs. If you don't know what it is, do not go out and order one because you got to know how to use it. And that's a dominant dog collar. It's got to be fitted correctly. It can't be at the bottom of the dog's neck. It cannot slide down. So if your corrections aren't working and you tried everything, or I've tried everything, and I'm at my wit's end, and this dog just wants to go, 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 I will use a dominant collar. It is not a prong collar. It is not a shock collar. It is a dominant dog collar. And all it takes is a little lift. The dog will respond. Okay. But the key to a reactive, I should say, dog is obedience. I mean, let's look at all kidding aside, people, and I'm done having my little fit.
God.
Let's look at things realistic. If you can't get your dog to sit and stay in the living room, don't try to get the dog to stop barking at other dogs. Like I said, we've touched base on a couple different ways of doing it. It's almost like teaching, let's say, a heel, Margaret. I'm not going to start teaching a heel. You're not going to start teaching a heel unless a dog understands to follow us first.
Yeah.
If they can't follow us and keep their attention on us, that they're going to get that praise, what the hell you think they're going to do if they're dog reactive? Don't try to stop it. Start with basic obedience. I don't care if it's just sit stays in your house. What are you doing? You're gaining control.
Mm-hmm.
Even right in front of you. And do what Margaret was doing with that dog. Make him sit. Claim your door. What are you doing? You're gaining control of your dog. If you can't do that around simple distractions around your home that he's used to, don't try it outside. The main thing, if you can't figure it out, call a professional dog trainer.
Exactly. Get some help, get some guidance. I mean, my first year of dog training, Bob, I was in North Carolina and it was in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my first clients was a yellow lab that lived in a townhouse, and it was a hunting lab. It had
Oh
hunting
boy.
lines.
There you
So that
go.
means
It was in
energy.
them.
Oh my God, he almost tore my shirt off when I walked in the door. He was jumping all over the dang place. He was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
7 months old or 8 months old. And the first lesson, yeah, we did inside, sit, stay, this, that, go to the dog park, let him run his energy out, that kind of thing, right? So then the next lesson I come and I'm going to try some healing and walking. Well, the leaves were falling. It was fall, and we were out in the parking lot of the townhome development, and leaves were blowing all over the
Right.
place.
Right.
And the dog was like, he wanted to chase the leaves. He didn't want anything to do with me.
No.
So I had to switch gears. And that's one thing you'll have to learn as an owner with a dog when you're doing obedience and you're working with a dog. You have to learn when to switch gears. Okay, we're going to quit doing this right now. We're going to go back inside and we're going to learn the place command, or we're going to learn, some better stays. Stays promote patience and self-control.
Right.
So really work on those stays. And one other point I'll say, and I'll be done, is when you're working outside with your dog with obedience and you come inside, what's what normal people do? They take the leash off and let their dog go run and get some water, right? Then what? The dog starts running around and going crazy.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is when you come inside, work obedience another minute or two inside the house. Work it in rooms that you don't spend time in, so then they feel the whole house is their den and they have to listen
There
and
you
pay
go.
attention to their alpha leader everywhere in the house, not just in certain places and not just outside. So
That's exactly right. You know, even if you want to try this, I would even recommend this. If you see another dog coming and your dog's getting a beat on it, I mean, he's lowering his head, you know he spotted it. Do not tense up on the leash. I want you to calmly just give him a fast little, I don't care if it's 2 inches to get his attention, a little snap and say, let's go, and go across the street. If he doesn't know sit, try to place him to a sit. And I want you to remain calm and let that dog go by. If he doesn't react, he's allowed to look at it. But if he doesn't get up and he doesn't bark and he doesn't lunge, praise that behavior. Remember, always remember, praise good behavior, discipline the bad behavior. No different than training a child. You know, I would love to go in reactive dog. A matter of fact, I'm going to start training a reactive dog here this coming week. And it's a little Westie. And I brought one of my trainer went out there and did the evaluation. And the dog, she said, was jumping all over. It was mouthing her. It was barking. It was growling. But he bit her like 3 times.
wow.
But it wasn't breaking the skin. It was like mouthing. It's like, oh my
Really?
God, what do I do? It's
Yeah.
like the big dog that I went to was a Malinois Shepherd Cross. I walked right up on the dog. I put a sleeve on, a little intermediate sleeve, beginner sleeve, puppy protection sleeve, and I fed it to the dog, and he just around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all mouth. So I didn't want my trainer to deal with it. I said, I want to have this dog, and I'm going to fix it real quick. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to use any time. I'm just going to use whatever collar she has on the dog, and everything's going to be fine. You know, and a lot of it, Margaret, as well as I do, it's socialization.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even puppies so much. If they had a puppy and brought it up, because a lot of people nowadays they get their dog around a lot of dogs and everything else. It's when they rescue a dog and they don't know about this dog, or they get a dog from the animal shelter and they're not really sure about this dog. Well, number one is trainers like you, me, Brian, it's on here. we have to kind of figure it out. We don't know about this dog's past.
Right.
So, it's like we got to work being around another dog or another distraction at a distance. Gain control and slowly start working closer and closer and closer. Where you have your problem area, stay in that area and fix it. Because everybody remember, in order to solve a problem, you have to work on that problem, or else it's not going to be solved. The other thing I want to tell people, if your dog is reactive to people coming into your home, this is very important. Do not put that dog away under any circumstance.
Yes.
Put him on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
Have your people come in. Don't look at him. Don't try to talk to him. Forget the cookie stuff in front of the dog. Here, have a cookie, and you give the dog cookie, and he still wants to eat you. So, what I would do, keep the dog by you on a leash, even though in a way we're kind of under socializing him because he's by you. But the thing is, he's in front of these people. So, in a way, it's a way to start socializing.
Mm-hmm. Have them meet the new people outside first.
Let that dog bark, but show no reaction. Believe me, it may go on for 2 minutes, him acting like a big bad dog, but he'll stop eventually. As long as they don't keep trying to talk to him and do goofy stuff.
Yeah.
You agree? So,
yes, sir, I do.
Our suggestion to everybody out there with a reactive dog, do not, under any circumstances, put your dog away. Put him on a leash where you can control him and show no emotion whatsoever. Do not have your friends try to touch him. Do not have your friends try to give him a treat. Do not give him toys, or let him build his confidence on his own. Never try to push confidence, let's say. The dog's got to do it on his own. Out in the street, same thing. Gain control, like Margaret said. Work them at the door. Gain control outside the door. Then go for your walk. But if you can't do it yourself, please hire a professional dog trainer that knows what he's doing. Research him. Don't just say, well, this guy's cheap and I'm going to hire him.
How many clients have you gone to that's like, oh, I've been through 5 dog trainers? Well, they probably had cheap dog trainers and they didn't know anybody can stick a sign in their front yard and say that they're a dog trainer. So be careful.
Margaret, I can't tell you, my company, Family Dog Training, and my trainers, we fix so many problems. It's crazy that other dog trainers did. Oh, your dog is trained. That dog. I seen one lady, she couldn't even get the dog to sit and stay. And she had a remote. She had an e-collar on the dog and the dog wouldn't do it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. She spent $2,500, sent the dog away, brought it in, gave her 2 lessons, and the dog still wouldn't stay.
Wow.
I have another gentleman that I'm going to be seeing here in the next few days. He was doing bring your dog there, leave him there a day, and take him home. The dog's still an idiot, he says.
Wow.
Research your trainer.
Yep.
Unless they were trained by somebody that knew what they were doing. Like I said, you got your little piece of paper that I don't care about. But anyway, it takes years unless you're trained by a trainer that knows what he's doing. Margaret, that little piece of paper got you a foundation. It didn't take you to where you're at right now.
That's true. I learned the most.
I use all kind of different methods, but I can change that method that quick because I can read the dog. It's people, read your dog. Don't put them away. Don't put them in the backyard. Do what Margaret said. Start working the door. Start working stays in the house. Next week, what are we going to cover, Margaret?
I think it'd be a good time to do about socialization.
Socialization is wonderful.
You know, things that dogs are afraid of. How do you socialize a dog with, hey, here's a good one, the vacuum cleaner. Hold your
There
hand up
you
if your
go.
dog's afraid of the vacuum cleaner.
A lot of people, it like as far as socializing and noises and like reactive to noises even.
Yeah.
That's a reaction, I got, or they run away. It's like if I trained a bird dog, and I've trained bird dogs, just because I trained a dog to fetch or go get that dead bird and bring it back, and he sits real nice, you say drop, and he drops the dog. The first time he hears a shotgun go off, he is gonna freak.
Yep.
So you work that shotgun blast at a distance. Gradually get him used to it that noise isn't gonna hurt him. But we are gonna touch base on that.
Yeah, we will.
Aren't we, Margaret?
Yeah, socialization is not just people. It's sounds, it's things. So we will touch on that coming next time.
That sounds fantastic, Margaret. Hey,
Christopher. What are you doing behind
Yeah.
your
Good job, Christopher.
I didn't do anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
you the man. You know that.
Okay.
You're part of this. You are as much a part of this as we are, my brother. All right?
There he is with his guitar. He's awesome.
Oh, he's got his git fiddle on. All right. So until next week, folks, try what we said. Do not put your dog away. Work the sit stays at the door. It's the easiest thing to teach a dog. But what's the key thing, Margaret?
Subscribe to our channel.
Consistency. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like, share, subscribe. Come on, people.
Yes.
We're not going to steer you in the wrong direction. So
thank you for watching, everybody. We hope you learned something. We are here for you to help you. So send in your questions to rockanddogs11@gmail.com. It's up on the bottom of the screen there, and we will try to get to your questions that you have. So
hey, you know what Cindy said? Cindy says Margaret trained me. Well, you know what? I trained Margaret, Cindy. I trained Margaret. And I trained Brian too. It was on here from Texas.
Yeah.
So, but everybody used to call me Uncle Bob the Wizard, whatever. But anyway, folks, we're done here tonight. I hope y'all had a good time. I hope y'all learned something, and we'll see y'all next week from the rock and roll capital and a rockin' his dog trainer in Cleveland and the dog whisperer from Florida. Sweet old Margaret here. We're here to help you. See you next week.